and I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert is here, and what are you doing here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling? I didn't know you were going to be here.
Well,
what are you looking at?
Just to be honest with you, I didn't really know I was going to be here either. But see, there's been some things happening, Mr. Ross, in Smoky Mountain Wrestling lately that's kind of disturbed me a little bit. More than disturbed me, it's just kind of bothered me a little bit. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of places that would say, what is Eddie Gilbert doing in Smoky Mountain Wrestling? Just like you just did. You just said that.
I did.
And I'll tell you exactly why. Not too long ago, Smoky Mountain Wrestling took it upon themselves, and they decided they were going to honor some legends of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, some people that made a good name for wrestling in Smoky Mountain Wrestling around Knoxville, Tennessee, and Johnson City, and up in Kentucky and Virginia, and all around this area. Well, then they had this big list. And I remember, now correct me if I'm wrong, they had like this old man, Ron Wright, and then they had his brother, Don Wright, and then I heard some talk about this legend that's no longer with us, Whitey Caldwell, somebody by that name. And then I even remember it even went this far. It went this far. They even talked about it and gave some kind of certificate to the guy that was the star of My Three Sons, used to referee here, Mac McMurray.
Mac McMurray, he was there.
Mac McMurray gave Mac a little certificate to put up on his wall.
He deserved it.
Oh yeah, he deserves a lot, and I'd like to give him one right now. And then the lowest thing they did, though, the lowest thing that anyone could ever do to me, not only did they do all that stuff to those people, but they overlooked my father, Tommy Gilbert. Tommy Gilbert was the greatest legend ever to step foot in the rings in Smoky Mountain Wrestling in the history. He didn't get any notification.
Wait. They tried to call him. They did try to call him. I know that for a fact. They really did.
The only way they may have tried to call my dad was collect with their reputation here. But no one called my dad. No one told him to come. And then what really kills me is they even sent and they gave a tape and a plaque to that old bald eagle, that old has-been referee, Ricky Morton's father, Paul Morton. Paul Morton's nothing but a wino, and he lives in Nashville, Tennessee right now, and he's doing nothing but driving a cab out there at the Nashville International Airport. He didn't deserve anything. My father deserves a legend plaque. He deserved a plaque, Lamb Jim Ross. He deserved a plaque. Why didn't you give him a plaque? He deserved a plaque. What? I need to what?
Get a hold of yourself.
I need to get a hold of myself.
Well,
they gave Paul Morton the stupid plaque.
You try to piss me off, boy? Huh? You know one thing that I did learn from Jimmy Cornette? That is, there's no more Mr. Nice Guy bullcrap. You know, I'm tired of every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming here to Smoky Mountain Wrestling and putting my dad's name in the breath of it. Buddy, you want something with me?
If he deserves it, someone ought to say it.
He deserves
and he's nothing but a bum.
Oh, yeah?
A bum, that's all he is.
I'll tell you what, baby. I'll tell you what. You're here for a reason.
Yeah.
This right here is not WCW, where you know somebody, where you can wrestle. Right here, it's got to be your own self.
Yeah.
So you step your butt in that ring right now, and me and you will find it.
Is that a challenge?
Oh, that's more.
Well, you got it. You got it.
We got it.
All right, we're going to have this match, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you go away. We'll be right back with that match. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Well, this match is going to happen. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Ricky Morton one-on-one. Here, we're just moments away from that one. I guarantee you, there was fire coming from the eyes of Ricky Morton. Eddie Gilbert insulting the man's father right here on television.
Exactly, Jim. We were playing families here. Both these guys, second generation in this sport. And, hey, we saw sparks before. We're going to see a blaze, I think, to cement that he's doing night in that ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special challenge match. Introducing first, at a weight of 228 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
Well, Eddie Gilbert is certainly a very accomplished, a very top superstar in the game. He's also one of the more controversial competitors in the game. He's got a lot of baggage that he brings with him. He said a lot of things about a lot of people over the years that somewhere down the road he's going to back up. And right now, it's going to start because he's got to back it up right here. Ricky Morton is here, and he is ready to fight.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent weighs 218 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton.
This is no radio program. This is not the printed word where a guy can blast somebody without any rebuttal. This is man to man, and those two guys are ready to get it on right here.
You better be able to back it up if you got it coming out of your mouth. And this is the place, this is the time. Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, and Rock and Roll, Ricky Morton. Collar and elbow at Jim. This should be a barn burner.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. Hard shoulder block there by Ricky Morton, who is laying it on a little thick there, right back in the face of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And Gilbert now trying to back away from Ricky Morton. This crowd, we've got a great crowd on hand this week. Again, thank you for inviting us into your homes. We're glad that you're with us here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
You know, I wonder if Ricky is going to use that paranoia that Eddie brings with him and use it against him, because you mentioned baggage. This guy comes with a whole train full.
Well, I thought for years that he's needed some psychiatric help. He's needed some special care, no doubt about it. And maybe, good hard shoulder block there by this very talented young athlete, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, who broke into the sport, as did Ricky Morton as a teenager. Hip lock takeover. And another one. But when he came out, I was surprised to just walk right out. He walked off the street with his wrestling attire on. But the guy has a very far away look in his eye. I don't think he's all there.
And when you ask him what he was doing here, he said, well, I'm not really sure myself. And then he went on to condemn everyone within a 100-mile radius that had anything to do with Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Well, Ricky Morton has never been one to back away from a fight. We've seen him compete with men with huge size advantages over him. And, of course, he and his partner, Robert Gibson, one of the supreme tag teams of all time in the universe, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. Those guys will be in the Hall of Fame. No two ways about it.
Gilbert with that rig of the eyes there had Morton back in the corner. Gains that unfair advantage. Hard right hand that knocks Morton down.
You talk about a track record, though. To give the devil his due, we've got to give Hot Stuff a lot of credit, too. This man has held regional titles all over the place, Jim. Well, you can remember back in the UWF.
Yeah, he's been
tag team championships with Sting.
He was a great competitor in tag team wrestling. He was a great star in the UWF, a great star in the NWA. I've never said the guy couldn't wrestle, and Ricky Morton can fight as well. Knocking Gilbert back into the corner. Reversal of the Irish whip, and he brought him out in a power slam. Going for the cover right there. 1, 2, and a kick out.
You know, I'm enjoying so much about this match. These two men are so evenly matched in size, in style, in the way they go about that squared circle. It's one bad mistake, one little nth degree of difference here can mean a winner and a loser, Jim.
I've been saying on the Smoky Mountain Hotline that 95 was going to be a big year for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. A lot of top stars would be migrating here as the year progressed, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that impressive list would include Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Athletically speaking, he belongs there.
Absolutely.
Mentally, I think the guy needs some help. I don't think he's mentally stable enough to be into a competitive situation. He's a step or two away from cracking. I mean, you saw the look on his face when he came out of that interview.
He's looking over his shoulder while he's talking to you.
He's paranoid. There's always somebody against this guy. Every time something bad has happened to him, it's always been somebody else's fault. He's paranoid.
And of course, if Ricky Morton has anything to do with it, Hot Stuff's stay here will be very short and very temporary.
Reverse neck lock there. First chin lock, be specific. Morton back up to his vertical base as he gets Gilbert back into the ropes. Causes a separation there, does Ricky Morton. And Morton lowered his head, and he paid for it, Les.
Yes, he did. Tried to set him up with a back, drop it. Eddie he telegraphed it. Eddie picked up on it and went with the neck breaker. Good move. But we're going to see a lot of that with these two guys. A lot of holding, counter hold.
Front face lock by Gilbert. And, of course, Gilbert's father, Tommy Gilbert, I know him very well. He was a great star, and he was invited to the Night of Legends.
Yes,
now, whether he was the greatest star in East Tennessee wrestling history, I'm sure is a debatable point. Eddie Gilbert certainly thinks so, as we know.
Yes, he does.
Oh, inverted atomic drop. Well, that'll change your attitude in a hurry. Morton catches him with a clothesline and knocks Gilbert down. Another hard right hand by Ricky Morton. This was an impromptu matchup, and all the way over the top from that right hand goes the hot stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Now, if Gilbert's smart, he's going to take the time out there to get his wind back and pull it together. Good short little shoulder.
Gilbert, he's got his feet in the ropes. 1, 2, 3, he got him, but his feet were on the ropes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert has just defeated Ricky Morton. His feet were on the ropes. Here comes Robert Gibson. I'm sure he's going to try to explain to the referee what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the official decision. Don't you go away. We will be right back.
See, what I tell you, I beat Ricky Morton with the Lou Thez press.
What?
A hold that Lou Thez himself taught me. I just beat him with, and what happens? Robert Gibson shows up. Where one goes, the other goes. 2 on 1, is it, boys? 2 on 1. I beat Ricky Morton fair. I beat him square. And he just cannot stand it. You can't stand it. You can't stand it. You can't stand it. See?
What's wrong with you?
See? Now they're going to beat me up.
Well,
Now they're going to try to beat me up.
maybe you deserve it, Eddie. Now, hold on. Keep your composure, guys, at least for my sake, will you?
Okay. I tell you what. I see 1. I see 2. I just see one of me standing here. You 2 guys with the legendary team here. I tell you what. Why don't you 2 guys meet me and a partner of my choice next time? Huh?
Sleep me once, shame on you. Sleep me twice, shame on me. Bring yourself a partner. We'll be right here next week. Show us what you got, hot stuff.
All right, well, whoever Gilbert's partner's going to be, we'll find out next week. That tag match right here next week. For Les Thatcher and our whole crew, I'm Jim Ross saying, so long, everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, still to come in this broadcast, we are going to see the Rock and Roll Express take on Eddie Gilbert and a mystery partner. My colleague Les Thatcher has gone to the locker room, but before we take you back to the locker room, let's take you back to last week and that confrontation involving a very psychotic hot stuff Eddie Gilbert and Ricky Morton. This was an impromptu matchup, and all the way over the top from that right hand goes the hot stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Now, if Gilbert's smart, he's going to take the time out there to get his wind back and pull it together. Good short little shoulder.
Gilbert, he's got his feet in the ropes. 1, 2, 3, he got him, but his feet were on the ropes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Why don't you 2 guys meet me and a partner of my choice next time? Huh?
Sleep me once, shame on you. Sleep me twice, shame on me. Bring yourself a partner. We'll be right here next week. Show us what you got, hot stuff.
In the locker room with me, hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Eddie, everyone's asking the same question. Who's going to be your partner?
Everybody's asking the question. The new Congress in the United States right now in Washington, D.C., they're asking the questions. Bill Clinton, Hillary Rodham Clinton, she's asking the question. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert, who do you have as your partner? Wait a minute. Can we sit right here? I don't like this spot. Anyway, I have someone in store for the Rock and Roll Express. I have someone in store for Smoky Mountain. You talked about me too, didn't you? You talked about me. Well, I've got a partner. You're going to see him soon. You're going to see him soon. And Ricky Roberts, you're going to see him.
Well, this should be quite a tag team contest, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson making their way to the ring. Just been informed that Steve Armstrong has been taken for medical attention. I hope we know something before we go off the air regarding his physical condition. If not, we'll let you know when we come back next week, of course. And I'm still wondering just who will be Eddie Gilbert's tag team partner as we take you back up to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing total combined weight of 448 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express.
And here comes Eddie Gilbert with no partner. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, right here next week, we're going to have a big 16-man Smoky Mountain Rumble for $5 grand for you next week.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing at a weight of 228 pounds.
Just wait just a second. Everybody here knows who I am. But now, for the time that all of you, and especially you, Ricky and Robert, have been waiting for, the greatest wrestler in the world today beside myself, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you in the Smoky Mountain Wrestling from the land of the giants, Unabomb!
What is a Unabomb?
Get that out of him when I was back in the dressing room with him.
Oh, there, gosh almighty. Look at the size of that guy.
It's large, no doubt about that.
That guy's got to be 6'9", 6'10", well over 300 pounds. He is a huge man.
Yes, he is.
Man, I don't know. This doesn't look good for the Rock and Roll Express. This guy just stepped up to the ring like he wasn't even, I mean, unbelievable. Stepping over the top rope. Wow, that is one big human being, Les.
Gilbert surprises come in large sizes, do they not?
Well, Gilbert may have met this guy in a funny farm somewhere. I don't know. Boy, this is a big, big man. There's the crowd here chanting rock and roll, rock and roll. And Ricky and Robert are going to need everybody's support. If this guy is as tough as he is big, this guy's got to be, I'm looking, he's about 6'10".
At least that, yes, at least 6'10".
Maybe 330, 340 pounds. Get a good look at that face and see if we can I've never seen this guy.
That's a new one to me, Jim.
He is, I don't know where Gilbert found him. I have no idea. Don't know what he can do in the ring, but he is one tough-looking hombre. And it's going to be Ricky Morton and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert starting it off right where they left off last week. And, well, Gilbert
As we both said before, size doesn't intimidate either Ricky or Robert, but let's see if this guy has a talent to go with his size. His talent's as big as his size, Jim. He's going to be tough to handle.
He is a big one now, Ricky Morton. Yelling at us over here. I think Ricky's a little bit in awe of this guy as well. You know, these Morton and Gibson have been in with a lot of big teams. They've taken on the Samoans. They've been in a ring with the Road Warriors in their career. Teams that outweigh them up to 100 pounds per man.
Absolutely.
But it's still a great challenge. It's still a matter of survival when you get into that element. And with a psychotic, paranoid mind that Eddie Gilbert possesses, you got to wonder where this guy even came from. Morton cannot lock up with him and have any chance of survival here, Les. And, you know, I've never wrestled, nor am I wanting to. You have. But, you know, I would think that Ricky's he's got to use his quickness.
He's got to move on him, Jim.
Got to get him
absolutely.
off his feet
yes.
in some shape, form, or fashion.
Exactly. If he tries to just go power with power, there's just no way.
Side headlock. Hard. Oh, my. Unabomb almost ran through Ricky Morton there with that football tackle. You look at this guy closely, ladies and gentlemen. He's put together, this Unabomb character. He is a big, strong athlete. Tag made. Oh, double elbow. They got him down, but the big man's back up. Double drop kick knocks him over the top rope. And he's back up again on his feet. A double drop kick usually puts people down for the 3 count. This guy bounced right back up and stepped back into the ring.
You're absolutely right.
Hear that crowd chanting, rock and roll, rock and roll. 95.
But the R&R Express have taken a little bit of the bluster out of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Whoa.
Good teamwork there. Drop kick by Ricky Morton and Unabomb. 1, 2, he powers out. They can't keep him down. Both of them can't keep him down. He's a powerhouse, Les.
He's strong, Jim. There's no two ways.
Yeah, this guy's a powerhouse. He's a dangerous weapon that Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert has found.
Now, if Gilbert doesn't overwork him, Gilbert uses him effectively and doesn't just put him out there and hide behind him, then he's got a lethal weapon on his hands, Jim.
Well, Gilbert's a nut. He needs help. I said it last week. A lot of people have been saying it for a long, long time that this kid needs some counseling. Makes a tag. I tell you something. Ricky and Robert both tried individually and collectively to gain an advantage on Unabomb. And quite frankly, you saw it there, folks. They were not successful in doing it on that particular exchange.
They could slow him down. They could not stop him. You're right, Jim.
Hard right hand by Robert Gibson. And Unabomb's back into fight. I've seen Robert Gibson do that before, knock guys off the apron into the front row. This guy didn't budge off the ring.
Guys sagged a little bit, but that was all.
Gilbert made a surprise appearance here last week, incensed that his father was not invited to the Night of Legends back last summer in Knoxville. Then he started berating Ricky Morton's father, former great referee Paul Morton. Ricky Morton heard all of it he wanted. He came out. They had a one-on-one contest that Morton won by cheating. There's a roll-up. He's got him 1, 2, and Unabomb from behind knocks Ricky Morton off of Gilbert and down to the canvas.
You're seeing the puzzle being put together here.
Yeah, the strategy is unfolding. Double team, right hands to the face by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. I don't think Unabomb even made the tag, quite frankly.
No, he did not. He did not make the tag.
That big guy looks like about a size 18 foot, completely engulfing the chest, not just the throat, but the entire chest of Ricky Morton here. Well, this is a big guy. Hard right hand. Ricky Morton fighting back with all he's got, but how much can he sustain from this guy? And, well, Gilbert just threw something right in the face. I don't know, soft drink, I'm not sure what it was.
Something more of an aggravation than anything else, but nonetheless, Gilbert is walking around, strutting around on the floor, very nonchalant, while his partner, Unabomb, was in there working on Morton.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert has been a great tag team competitor. Les Thatcher mentioned it last week. He's been tag team partners with Rick Steiner before Scott Steiner turned pro. He was tag team partners with Sting. Oh, all the way to the post. Ooh. That steel post does not have any forgiveness. So Gilbert is a great tag team competitor. He's always been a great athlete. But he's just nuts. He's crazy. Robert Gibson gets that tag. Gibson's right hand finds his mark. He settles that subbutt kick.
Yes.
Good roundhouse kick there.
See what he can do with the big man here.
And Gibson, oh my!
Pull that rope down.
Referee's calling for the bell. I think he's disqualified Gilbert.
The winners of the match by disqualification, the Rockin' Roll Express.
Hot Stuff lowered that top rope, Jim, and Robert Gibson went out 100 miles an hour.
Gibson hurting out on the floor here, and that gives Gilbert and Unabomb the opportunity to double team, and man, they're trying to kick the life right out of Ricky Morton here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It does not look good for Ricky Morton.
Gibson's up now. Gibson's on his feet. Let's see. He's got a chair, Jim. Here we go.
Gibson that chair in the ring. Gilbert and Unabomb outside. Oh, what a situation. Morton has been devastated here. We'll update you on everything. We'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, at Super Saturday Night Fever in Knoxville. Got to be impressed with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and that huge man Unabomb. And the thing about it is all four of those guys are going to be in this next Rumble matchup.
That's right. That's coming up right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Smoky Mountain Rumble for $5,000. 16 men in the ring. We'll have it for you right after this very brief timeout.
If you'd like to raise money for your school, club, or civic organization, and you'd like to see the excitement of Smoky Mountain Wrestling live in your hometown, this message is for you. high school and college athletic departments, sports teams, police and fire departments, JCs, civic groups, or any group wishing to raise money can bring the stars of Smoky Mountain Wrestling to town for a night of action and receive a portion of the receipt. Write to us or call Sandy Scott at 703-989-6819. Smoky Mountain Wrestling and your civic group, an unbeatable tag team.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Smoky Mountains, let's get ready to rumble!
And we are rumbling, no doubt about it. It's going to be the first two men. There you see them. New Jack and
Our
Robert
first two
Gibson.
competitors, New Jack and Robert Gibson.
Remember, it's over the top ropes. The only way you can be eliminated.
That's right, Jim. No pinfalls, and in 60 seconds, another wrestler will enter that ring, and every 60 seconds thereafter, until all 16 men have been put into that ring.
Well, Robert's got him down, but that's automatic. You got to throw him over the top to eliminate him. Pinfalls do not count. Disqualifications are count out. Do not count. The only way to be eliminated is to go over the top rope to the floor.
And once you get that ring with quite a few wrestlers, you can get blindsided. You never know what's going to happen. It becomes a very dangerous situation, Jim.
Hard right hand by Robert Gibson, another right by New Jack. It's a matter of survival now. And here comes
Ladies and
Chris
gentlemen,
Candido.
the Suicide Blonde, Chris Candido.
So now it's supposedly every man for himself. Let's see if it's that way. Let's see if New Jack will compete as vociferously against Candido as he was against Robert Gibson. I don't think so.
No.
And Gibson's got to survive another 60 seconds, or 60 and counting, until the fourth athlete from the locker room will be dispatched.
And of course, New Jack's got to realize as much help as he's getting Candido here, if Robert Gibson is put out by these two guys, they're going to have to turn on one another.
Double clothesline by Robert Gibson, knocking Candido and New Jack right off their pins.
He's certainly nullified any advantage the two of them had. He's put himself back into this thing.
You hear that crowd chanting, rock and roll, rock and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contestant, George South.
George South in there. Remember, it's every man for himself. The way you're eliminated, and you can be eliminated at any time, is to be thrown over the top rope, both feet touching the floor.
That's right. If you get hung up on that rope and they don't drop you, if you get back in, well, take a look at Robert Gibson right this moment. Candido has him up on the top, but he can't get him over. Now, if he drops down, a foot touches the apron, he's still in the ball game. But the minute he hits the arena floor, he's out of there.
And he has to go back to the locker room. George South and New Jack paired off on the one side of the ring. And there you see Candido and Robert Gibson. Now Candido's in a rather precarious position here. Headbutt, hard to the side of the head. Candido trying to hold on with all he's got. This is a matter of survival here.
Our next contestant is Boo Bradley.
And you know who Boo Bradley's going to find?
Exactly.
Chris Candido. Boo Bradley. Now the soulmate of Cactus Jack. And Bradley, he tossed him out over
Chris
the top.
Candido has been eliminated.
Candido's been eliminated. He's out of there.
Now, look here. New Jack has the tables turned on him, but George South has started on Bradley. So, as you mentioned, no teamwork here.
Every man for himself, as we documented. Hard elbow by George South. Down goes Boo Bradley, as Robert Gibson, who has a lot of scores to settle with the Gangstas. And I tell you something, this is a dangerous situation to be in. These battle royals, these very dangerous rules. I'll tell you something, some of the guys that are planning on being at the big doubleheader weekend, Brawl in the Hall in Johnson City.
Our next contestant, Nature Boy, Buddy Landell.
On February 25th, and then the next afternoon in Knoxville, Sunday Bloody Sunday 2 on Sunday, February 26th. Some of these guys that are planning on being on those two big mega cards back-to-back may not make it.
They may not get out of here, as you were about to say, Jim. You're absolutely right.
You're right, man. I'll tell you something. This is a wild, unpredictable thing. There's been a lot of rumbling going on in wrestling in the last week. All the way from Tampa to the great Smoky Mountains.
But as you mentioned earlier, we certainly want to invite all our friends out there on the satellite hookups to come down and join us for that big double weekend.
Robert Gibson up on that rope, teetering there, and so is Boo Bradley. South and New Jack trying to get Boo Bradley eliminated. Remember, you got to go all the way to the floor. The winner of this Smoky Mountain Rumble will win $5,000. Almost as much as my broadcast partner Les Thatcher is going to make for this program. I said almost.
Our next contestant, Tommy Pittner.
Tommy Pittner is in, but for how long?
George South got him as he came through the ropes. And right now, they're squared off here. They're partnered off 3 ways, so no one with a double team at any point.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us take a quick break. Don't you go away. We'll update you when we come back. We'll be back as quickly as possible. Don't you go away. The Rumble continues after this. And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Ross and Les Thatcher back with you here in the Great Smoky Mountains as the Smoky Mountain Rumble continues. No one has been eliminated since we left you for the commercial break, but the action has indeed been wild.
Our next contestant, the Dirty White Boy.
Dirty White Boy, and you can bet he wants some of Nature Boy Buddy Landell. And Landell is running for his life.
Landell,
Landell
Nature
over the
Boy
top.
Buddy Landell has been eliminated.
And there goes the Dirty White Boy after it. The White Boy's going to eliminate himself. Well, I know there's no count out, so what are you going to do? The guy leaves.
Exactly.
The Dirty White Boy has been eliminated.
Yes, well, his feet touched the arena floor.
That's right. He left of his own volition. I like to see what's going on back in the locker room area. That's where they are. Landell wasn't in long, but the Dirty White Boy was in even a shorter length of time.
Boo has something in his hand, some kind of cord. What is it over there?
There's no telling. Who knows? He's got Cactus Jack's old tights on under his underwear. We need to take him shopping. Bradley hammers George South, and it's a
Our next contestant, Bryant Anderson.
Brian Anderson in. Oh, hard right hand by Anderson. Anderson hammering away at Boo Bradley, snaps him over. This is not a submission match, so Anderson will be maybe a little disadvantaged for his style. You got to get the guy over the top rope.
Ooh, Boo fires back at him. Pittner catches a headbutt, but you know, Pittner, and unknown to us, Jim, has hung in there and hung tough on this match.
That's right. He's there's a little bit of luck involved in this type of environment. You got to be fortunate. You got to have a little help sometimes from your friends, but remember, are there really any friends when it comes right down to the $5,000? We'll find out. Pittner trying to put Robert Gibson over the top. Boo Bradley connecting on New Jack. Action
Mustafa
all over the ring.
Saeed's the next contestant.
Two gangsters in there now, Jim, so this is going to change the complexion a bit.
It'll change the strategy as well. Mustafa holding Robert Gibson. And New Jack.
Together.
New Jack and Mustafa Saeed both have been eliminated.
Both the gangsters can take a shower. They can get out of here. They're out of the thing.
Robert ducked,
We'll see ya.
Mustafa took his partner right over the top with him.
Well, they're not going to get the $5 grand. Well, they missed. They made a big mistake there. They're still trying to gather their senses here out on the floor. Gibson and Pittner, Anderson, South, and Boo Bradley. And Boo's going to take a break. Don't blame him.
Who's called timeout?
At least for himself.
Yes. He's telling him, get him over there.
The traffic cop.
Well, you know, that's good, though, Jim, if you get somebody to do the work for you.
The Wolfman is the next contestant.
Well, the Wolfman is a rather bizarre character.
He starts to pound on the biggest man in the ring. Let's see how far that gets him. Look here. Wolfman's going right to the big guy.
Trying to take the legs out from Boo Bradley. Maybe try to hold
George
him over.
South, look at him. He's almost over there. Pittner's got him up, but can't quite get him overbalanced and get him outside.
South teetering on elimination here. Gibson knocks the Wolfman back into the corner. That Wolfman's a wild looking out.
Yes, he is. Ooh, he's going to work on Boo's knee, and Boo is limping coming across that end of the ring there.
Uptown, D'Lo Brown is the next contestant.
Well, his buddies are gone. If you're looking for him, D'Lo, you probably passed him in the hall. And, D'Lo Brown.
Robert Gibson has been eliminated.
Along with Brian Anderson, eliminated Robert Gibson. He's out of this thing. 6 men still competing, but still more on the way.
D'Lo's non-discriminate. He nailed Boo Bradley. Now he started on the Wolfman.
Boo Bradley's had his legs taken out from him. He's going to have to really regroup here. He needs his spiritual advisor, Cactus Jack. He'll be back with us soon.
Look at South trying to get Pittner out over the top. You know, George South has hung tougher than anybody here, Jim.
He's the 3rd man in, wasn't he?
That's right. And still there.
Boo Bradley. There's the fans chanting for Boo Bradley. They're growing to love this big guy.
Scotty McKeever is the next contestant.
Scotty McKeever will try his hand now. Let's see if he can survive with these other gentlemen. And look at Boo Bradley. Oh, Brian Anderson.
Brian Anderson has been eliminated.
You talk about an element of luck, Jim. A lot of the top wrestlers you would have figured to be in this thing right down to the wire are gone.
And Boo Bradley. See, Boo Bradley went out, and so did
Uptown, D'Lo Brown and Boo Bradley have been eliminated.
Well, somebody has to remind Boo that he can't compete anymore.
And George South is still in this game.
Maybe the upset of 95.
Pittner and South, the Wolfman and McKeever.
Who would have believed this? Some of the superstars have been eliminated, and some of the younger guys that are hungry, really hungry, are in there competing. 4 guys in the ring.
Exactly.
Still remember, more on the way.
Our next contestant, Unabomb.
I think business just picked up.
I want to see what the big man does here.
Boy, look at him stop. Everybody's stopping now. Well, if they're smart, all 4 of them will try to get Unabomb out. I don't know they're going to have that chance. Man, he is powerful. He's dropping people like a bad habit.
I think Pittner been smart to nail him from the blind side.
Yeah, or leave.
Exactly.
Power bomb coming up.
Whoa.
Man, he's going to another power bomb. Oh, he's got a kid up and drills him with that power bomb. 2 down and 2 to go. Well, we may be able to clap for the Wolfman.
Yes.
Man, he's in a heat. And Pittner, well, you might as well make it a quartet here.
Yes.
Can you believe this guy's power? Woo, 4 power bombs.
Hat tricks 3. What do we count to 4?
I don't know. I don't. It's a pretty good poker hand.
Yes.
4 of a kind.
George South has been eliminated.
And Tommy Noah will be busy here for the next few moments.
Scotty McKeever has been eliminated.
This guy's awesome. 6 feet 10, 330 pounds. He is huge.
If you need the junk cleaned out of your garage, here's the guy. He just goes right in and starts cleaning the house.
The Wolfman has been eliminated.
Well, the Wolfman's got to wait for a full moon before he can come out again. Look at Pittner. Whoa. Oh, my.
Tommy Pittner has been eliminated.
Well, Unabomb has not won this thing because there's more athletes coming.
That's right.
Our next contestant, Ricky Morton.
Remember David and Goliath? And Ricky doesn't have a slingshot.
Well, we got to remember, there'll be no Robert Gibson. He's already eliminated from this thing.
You're right. Very good point. Right now, it's 1-on-1. Can Ricky Morton survive for 60 seconds? Stingy right hand. Well, it just kind of stunned the big man. This is one of the most impressive big men I've seen in a long, long time. 4 power bombs, and he manhandled everybody. Ricky Morton's quick. How quick can he be?
And you know, he's right up in that 300-pound race, Jim, and not an ounce of fat on him.
That's what he's 330, we were told. This is a big guy. I mean, he's just a shade under 7 feet tall.
He could carry another 30 pounds and not even know it's there.
Yeah. I can't say the same about myself, as a matter of fact. I'll have to lose about 30, but that's another story.
Is that a New Year's resolution?
That's another resolution I've already broken here at the end of January. Boy, Ricky is, I tell you, this is scary when you think about Ricky's size, and this guy, oh, that'll stop you. Well, a little low blow there. And we said there's no disqualifications. That's rather uncharacteristic of Ricky Morton.
The next contestant, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
Well, this is bad. This is real bad. What's Gilbert doing? He's got something in his hand. Something flying. Powder? He's powder? Some powder right in Morton's eyes, and over the top
Ricky Morton
he goes.
has been eliminated.
And to repeat what you said, no disqualification, anything goes. So he was within the rules. Mr.
Ladies and
Paranoia
gentlemen, the winners of the match,
quick.
Unabomb and Eddie Gilbert.
Well, I guess they're going to share the money. I don't think Gilbert wants any part of Unabomb either, but they're buddies. They're not going to fight. Oh, look at that. Look at the odd couple. Felix and Oscar. Boy, they need help. They need therapy, and the bad thing about it, we got to talk to them, and we'll do that when we come back. All right, we're back here, ladies and gentlemen. You win the $5,000. Why didn't you compete with him, Eddie?
You know, Jim Ross, I've got to tell you something. I'm very exhausted. I'm very tired. You know
why?
Because I stayed in there. How many guys were in at 16? Count myself. I had to,
3.
Actually, I had to beat about 14 other guys to win this thing, and I'm very, very tired. It was a hard-fought match. I have to correct you and Mr. Thatcher on something, though.
What's that?
It is not a power bomb that this man does. We call it the Unabomb.
I'll remember that from now on.
And I do. See, you're trying to take my money already, aren't you? But I'm going to put it right in here for safekeeping, because you see, I don't trust anybody. For some reason or another, people in wrestling don't seem to like Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. They don't seem to like Unabomb. I see Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson running around here. Ricky Morton just tried to throw powder in my face, but I got him back.
Wait a minute. Are you hallucinating?
I'm not hallucinating. I'm not hallucinating. Oh, I'm not looking at him.
There's nobody around there.
There was somebody right there. There's people everywhere, and I'm going to serve notice right now. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what your name is. You don't even have to wrestle here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I have been fired. I have been run out of every wrestling organization I've ever been in. So Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you don't even have me to contend with. You have the most deadliest weapon I have ever come across in wrestling, and I've had them all. I had Sting when he started. I had Rick Steiner when he started, and now the greatest find of them all is Unabomb. Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you are mine.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you hear from Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. They're $5,000 richer, and next week we'll have highlights from Super Saturday Night Fever. From my pal Les Thatcher and all the great fans, I'm Jim Ross saying so long, everybody.